Hey guys, how's it going? We are doing HIIT core yoga tonight. The theme tonight is going to be a primal style class. There's lots of names for the movements that we're doing, and a lot of it, it could be called primitive or functional movement or primal movement. But it's going to be a lot of kind of hip opening stuff and just kind of a lot of stuff that's going to be working on your core, arm strength. You gotta feel it in your wrist, so we'll do some wrist warm-ups as well. And we're going to start with some warm-up, a little bit of yoga integrated with the primal movement tonight. And then our ladder, we'll do a ladder tonight, and that'll incorporate some of the primal moves that we'll kind of explore during our warm-up as well. So you don't need anything, you just need your mat and water bottle, and let's get started. So we'll start in child's resting pose on your mat. Bring your knees wide and big toes touch, and stretch your arms forward. Bring your forehead to the mat. All right, so deep breaths in and out through the nose. You just want to start stretching out through the sidelines of the body, maybe rocking a little bit from side to side. Dipping the shoulders down from left to right just to kind of get a little bit more into the shoulder joint and the lats. And then we're going to lift the fingers, lift up the heel of the palm so that you're just on the fingertips. Now drop your head back to the mat and press down into your fingertips and pull back through your hips. Breathe deep there. All right, so on your next inhale, you just let that go. Now rotate the hands so the palms face open towards the ceiling or thumbs point up towards the ceiling. Deep breath in and out here. All right, then close the hands back, palms facing the floor. Let's rise up and find tabletop position. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. So just warming up here, warming up the spine, running it into cat, and then inhaling into cow. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling, releasing. Roll the shoulders forward, and then pull the shoulders down and back. Exhale and inhale. Couple more on each side here. Okay, and then back into neutral. Okay, let's move around a circle motion. Again, you're just kind of bending into the elbows, and you just want to get the spine a little more mobile here. Send the breath into the back. Move the hips from side to side. So shift forward with the hips and then pull back to one side, shift forward to the hips and pull back to the other side. So you just feel the outer hips working a little bit there. All right, now rotating the hands so that the fingers either point closer, either pointing straight towards your knees, so you can pull back like that, or whatever range of motion. So if this is your range of motion just out to the side, that's fine too. So just find your own range of motion and hold that. Deep breath in, and then relax, point your fingers forward, and then put your palms facing up towards the ceiling here. Now, not shifting the weight forward, we're just pulling back and then shifting the weight a little bit more forward. You're not putting a lot of weight on the wrists actually. You're just trying to open up the tops of the hands and the top of the wrist there. So just a little bit of shifting back and forth. Not a ton of weight, again, moving forward into the hands. You're just changing the angle. So forward a little bit and then back. Okay, now flip the palms back over, so palms facing forward. And then one more time, turning, rotating the hands so that the fingers point back towards your knees. And then maybe a little bit of shifting forward here and back. And breathing. So just take one more deep breath in and out. All right, so flip the hands back around so the fingers are pointing forward. Walk the hands forward, tuck toes under, and lift up into downward facing dog. Walk it out. Shift the hips from side to side. Bend into the right knee only. Straighten that left leg out. Try to draw the heel to the floor. Bend just into the left knee and straighten that right leg, reaching that right heel to the floor. And then bend both knees and then shift forward into plank pose. Pull back up into downward facing dog. Shift forward into plank pose. Pike up into downward facing dog. Shift forward into plank. Exhale, back into down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, pull back. Walk the feet wide and then start walking your hands towards your feet. So you're at the back of the mat into a squat position. Now just kind of get your feet wide and just getting your hips used to this motion here, rocking from side to side. Begin to kind of open the left hip and right hip. Shift, shift, shift. Okay, and then we'll begin a little more dynamic movement here and some Primal warm up. So we're going to reach your right arm forward and just leaning to the right here, and then the left arm's going to reach up and then switch sides. So the left arm is going to press into the inner left knee and you're reaching up with your right arm. Go to the other side. Reaching, reaching, over to the other side. One more time. That side. Okay, and then come back up, lift your hips. Drop your head, point your toes forward, shift left and right, left and right. Okay, come back to center, rise up all the way, reaching up with both arms. Inhale, exhale, open up the arms and swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, walk the hands forward. So that you come into a plank pose, walk your feet back in, hold plank pose. Take another deep breath here and lower through chaturanga. Lift into up dog or cobra and then come back into downward facing dog. Walk your hands towards your feet, but then drop your knees down to the floor and untuck your toes so that you're sitting on your heels. Okay, what we're going to do now is take your left leg up, so the left knee is bent, toes are pointing forward, and you are sitting on your right heel. So it's a half kneeling squat here, and we're going to take this into a flow. So first we're going to start with this side here, and we're going to take the right hand back behind you, and then we're just going to lift up, so opening up, reaching back, and then we're dropping the hip down, and then we're twisting over to the left, and that right arm is just kind of reaching above that left knee. You're twisting here, come out of the twist, reach forward, so pull the hips back as you're reaching forward, slide back, bums back onto the heel, and again another, plant the right hand back behind you, reach up, press the hips forward, come back down. Now reaching forward, I'm just going to spin around, reach forward, plant the hands down here, shift the weight forward, and then straighten that right leg back behind you so that you're in a lunge. Okay, and then step your left foot forward a little bit more if you can, and then kind of holding this long lunge here. So a little bit of lizard lunge, your hands are in the inside part of the left foot. Okay, hold, hold, hold. Okay, and what we're going to do, we're going to pull that right knee in towards the core 3 times. So we're going to pull in, pull that right knee in, and then back into lunge. 2, back into lunge. 3, pull in, back into lunge, and then bring that right knee back onto the floor, and then drop the left knee back onto the floor so that you're in that hero's position on your sitting on your heels, and then the right knee is going to point up this time, so in that half kneeling squat. Okay, let's start by moving into the twist. So we're going to reach over the left side over to the right side, and then we're going to plant the left hand back behind you, and then reach your right arm back, and then come forward, reach, and then go into a twist. So left arm over to the right, and then go all the way over and plant your left hand down, reach up, and then come down, plant your hands forward. Now this left leg is going to kick back and your right leg is going to be in the forward leg in the lunge. So we're just going to step back, step your right foot forward, and just kind of make your way into a deeper lunge. Your back knee is lifted up off the floor. You're in a lizard lunge. Okay, holding there. So now we're going to bring that left knee in, and we're just going to do 3 tucks here. So your hands are on the floor, you're all planted, your fingers are spread nice and wide, and go ahead, you're bringing the left knee in, tuck in, and then step back. Tuck in, step back. One more time, tuck in, and then step back, and then we're just going to step back into plank pose. So walk your hands underneath your shoulders, come through chaturanga, bring it into up dog or cobra, and then come back into downward facing dog. Walk it out. Come back into a squat at the back of the mat, almost like, so down dog, but you're bending into the knees and you're just pulling the hips way back there. Pushing out through the heels. From here, step your right foot forward. Drop your left knee to the floor. Reach up with both arms. Bring the hands to the floor. Come back into that down dog squat. So bending the knees. My chest is pulling to the tops of my thighs and my bum is pulling way back. And then step your left foot forward. Right knee to the floor. And then hands to the floor. Let's speed that up a little bit more. So step back into that down dog squat. Right leg steps. Reach. Bring it down. Back into the down dog squat, and then step your left foot forward, reach. Let's do one more time on each side. Plant the hands down, back into that down dog squat, step your right foot forward, reach, down, back into squat, left foot steps, reach, bring it down, and then step forward to the top of the mat. Walk your upper body, your torso over to the left side, and then semicircle over to the other side. Keep moving back and forth. Breathing. All right, and then come back to center, and then rise up all the way, and then open up the arms, and then we're going to bend the knees as you come down into a squat. And then we're going to sit down and rock back onto the back, and then rock forward. Rock back and rock forward. So we're just going to keep warming up this way here. Okay, now we're going to go into a figure 4. So what you're going to do is cross your left ankle over your right knee or over your right ankle, and then come up so that you end up left knee is pointing up, right knee is coming down, and then switching sides. Okay, and just keep moving, crossing, reversing the cross of the ankles, coming up. Okay, and now we're moving into a reach. So you're sitting up and then reach forward. Cross, sit, reach. Roll back, cross, sit, reach. Roll back, cross. Okay, and then the reach, we're doing a reach, and then we're going to plant the left hand behind you and then just reach out to the side and then reach forward. Reach out to the side and then reach forward. Reach out to the left side, reach forward. One more time. Reaching forward. Okay, and then rock back, reverse that. So right ankles cross underneath the left leg, left knee's pointed up. Reach forward with the left, and then plant the right hand back behind you. Reach forward with the left arm, swing out to the right, reach forward. Try to keep your legs stable here, and you're just kind of opening up the shoulders, opening up the side body. One more time. Reach back, come forward, roll back, and just back and forth, back and forth. Try to make yourself a tight little ball here, not rocking up all the way. Pull the core down. Okay, come onto your back, feet onto the floor. Now we're doing bridge reaches, so elbows down onto the floor, chest lifted, and we're gonna lift up the hips, and we're gonna reach with the right arm across to the left, and then above the head, and then come down. Switch sides, reach up, press the hips up, down, reach up. Eventually, you'll get more range of motion here. It may feel a little bit awkward at first because you're just kind of reaching and getting the stretch, twist across the body. You're getting some hip extension. Press your feet into the floor as you're lifting your hips up. One more time on each side. All right, and then come down. Begin rocking again. One more time, and then rock up and pull yourself up to squat position. So you're in squat again, rocking side to side, side to side. Breathe out. All right, so from here, lift your hips, rock from side to side, straight back, straighten legs. And then rise up all the way. Lift up. Okay, now we're gonna come down to the squat, do a toe touch reach. So coming down to the squat, and then kick with your right leg. And those hamstrings involved here. Getting the heart rate up a little bit more. So there's some core or cardio moves, mixed in with some primal movement tonight. Descending ladder. We're going 40-40, 30-30, 20-20. No rest in between the 40-40 or the 30-30 or the 20-20. There's just 10 seconds rest in between each next number here. So we're going to go into it. Just do an active rest by moving your arms from side to side here as I am going to explain our next motions. So our first, so basically going through 6 exercises, the 40-40, the 2 40s and the 2 30s and the 2 20s are all, they're going to be similar. So because there's no break in between them, it's going to be a natural movement between one to the next. The first one, we're just going to change the first 40 on each one, and we have 2 sets, and those the 30s and the 20s are basically going to be rotated around, but we're going to work on some primal movement for most of the 40 seconds. So the first one is going to be kind of like primal walking. The first one's going to be 8 crawl. So well, kind of 8 crawl, it's 8 push-up. So the 8, what they call deep 8 and primal movement is basically your low yogi squat, so you're down nice and low. Our push-up, so you're down in the 8 position or the squat position, come forward, catch yourself, push up, and then you're going to stand up and drive the left knee to the right elbow, come down, push up, and then other side. So it's going to be faster, and you're just standing and driving an elbow. The next movement is going to be the sideways 8 crawl. So you'll probably come off your mat a little bit. So you're in a wide stance, use the length of your mat. Plant your hands over to the right side. So you can start with the right, shift the weight forward, and then shift the weight. I'm just gonna come off camera here, and then shifting back. So you gotta shift the weight forward, and then you kind of lift up your legs, crawl from one side to the other side. Try to do 3 one way and then 3 going the other way. Just go back and forth. And then for 30 seconds, we're gonna do down dog scorpions. So you are in down dog here, and your right leg is gonna lift. I'm just gonna switch my position here so you can see me. So right knee, you're going to bend into the right knee, nice and slow, bring it to the right elbow, and then you're gonna circle around. So you're gonna extend the leg out, sweep around. So you're in that 3-legged down dog, knee bends, come back slowly to the elbow, sweep. So as you're sweeping, you are pushing through your arms to straighten all that out. We're doing the right side on the first 30 seconds and the left side on the next 30 seconds. The next 5 and 6, 20 seconds on is just snowboard hops. So straight through, so 20, no break, and then 20 again. So basically 40 seconds straight through. Snowboard hops, right leg is forward. When the right leg is forward, your right hand is onto the floor, your left arm wings back here. You're going to jump up and then switch to a 180 and touch the floor. So a big kind of Spider-Man jump here. If you don't want to do that, then you're just going to do a walk. So you're just going to switch which leg is forward, but bring those arms up and take up a lot of space, stretch it out, okay? And you can do that fast to get a little bit more cardio, but the hopping will definitely bring your heart rate up. So let's get started on our 8 push-ups, and then opposite knee to opposite elbow. 40 seconds, go. So come down, push up, drive the knee, down. Catch yourself, push up, try to explode up, knees wide. Come down nice and low to the push-up, as low as you can go. Tap those knees to the floor. Drive that knee up to the elbow. 5 seconds. Okay, and then right away, ape crawl. So I'm just going to do maybe 2 so that I'm not on camera here. And plant the hands in front of you and off to the side so that you can travel. Basically, you're trying to travel and get your legs in front of your hands, but you're reaching first with your hands, reaching, and then getting your hips in line with your hands. So really leg intensive, 2 seconds. Okay, so 10 seconds break and we're on down dog scorpions. Right leg first only. 4, 3, 2, go. So knee to elbow, sweep around, bend into the knee nice and slow, tap the knee to the elbow, nice and slow, tap the knee, kick out, take up space. You're really pushing through the shoulders when your leg is out like that. So extending your lever quite a bit. Okay, other side right away. Kicking out. And then you'll just kind of feel a little more natural after a while. So you're just trying to circle around basically. One side will feel more challenging than the other. Okay, and then that's 10 seconds break. Okay, ending it off in snowboard hops. So you can start with the right leg forward and you're just kind of angled at a 45. Okay, go for it. doing a hopping version or not. Landing softly if you're doing the hopping version. Go again. 4 seconds. That's it. Okay, that's the end of the first round, everyone. You find a lot of these movements are surprisingly cardio. That one is unsurprisingly, but some of the primal movements, just because you're using a lot of compound movements, right? Using a lot of body weight or a lot of muscle groups, major muscle groups at the same time, and you're doing explosive movements. Anyways, next one, we're going to practice some, they call it beast, to sit through in primal movement. In yoga, which could just be tabletop with your toes tucked under, covering your knees, is basically what is referred to as beast. Try to keep a straight back and try not to arch your spine or hover or hunch your spine too much. You want to try to neutral spine, so looking down. From this movement, you are taking your right leg underneath your left leg and spinning your hips and kicking your left leg out, and then back into beast, switch, back into beast. So knees hover the whole time. So we're going to do just the right leg though. That's just kind of the sit through basics. So we're just going to do right leg for the first 40. We're going to kick it out. 1, 2. You're going to do a pulse. Inner thigh lifting here, activating, and then back into beast. And then switch again, or same side. 1, 2. Back into beast. 1, 2, okay, and then back into beast. Just that right side. The next one is, of course, the left side right away. And then some side step. We're going to make the bed. So we're going to just get the cardio up here. You're going to step to the right and you're going to smooth out the sheets. And then you're going to reach up and hop to the other side and smooth. So up. As you come up, your hands together. As you come down into a side squat, your arms reach out. Just trying to stay into the camera so that you can see what I'm doing. And then for the next 30 seconds, we're going to scoop the water. So when you're in that wide squat, you're lifting the water up and then down. Lifting the water up. Okay? So it takes a lot of practice, but it's a surprisingly high cardio exercise when you're hopping from side to side. And it's those big arm movements that'll get your heart rate up. And then we're going to end in hollow hold and then banana, basically rocking banana. So the hollow hold is your just legs are lifting, arms alongside the ears, and trying to hold that. And then for the next 20 seconds, you're rocking from basically one glute to the other, one shoulder blade to the other, and try to keep your shoulders off the floor and your head and your legs all off the floor. All right, enough talk. 40 seconds. We're starting with the beast sit through on the right leg only. Okay, so kick through, lift, lift, and then back into beast. Kick through, lift, lift, and then back into beast. So you don't have to do this fast. I'm kind of hopping to get into beast. And then, okay, take a couple seconds when you're in that tabletop position, and then go to the other side. Reach out through that heel. Try to get, okay, other side. So left leg, up, up, and then down to beast. Right arm lifts up. If you want to reach it alongside your ear, you can. That's kind of the traditional style for these, is you kind of winging that right arm back. Up and down. Again, those knees stay hovered, and you're just trying to do controlled motions. Just with your body weight. All right, that's it. Okay, side step, make the bed. So again, you're just doing a kind of a half squat, coming down and then up, down and then up. Okay, and then you can kind of do like you're kind of moving underneath maybe a pole. Okay, you're trying to duck under and then come up the other side. Stepping the feet together, okay, and then scooping the water. So up, step wide, scoop, up, step wide, scoop, up, open, and then up, open, wide, up, legs open, arms open, wide, up. And then visualize you're diving into the water and trying to make a splash. Get down low. Speed it up. All right. Hollow hold. 5. So you're just on your mat, trying to anchor your low back into the floor. Just holding. Legs straight. Drop your tailbone, tuck it in, squeeze the legs, lift your shoulders, draw your rib cage in. 4, no break, remember we're going right into rocking now. So from side to side, try to just do it nice and controlled. Again, you gotta squeeze your bum, squeeze your legs so that you have that control happening in your core as well. And you don't go rolling right over onto your belly. Okay, that's it. That was the end of round 2. Okay, so the good news is that we are repeating those, the next rounds again, just in the 30s and the 20s, but we're going to switch up the 40s. So the next 40 is going to be crab walking, forward and back. So you're in the reverse tabletop position. Hands, fingers are either pointing to your tailbone or to your heels or out to the sides. And we're just going to do it nice and slow where we're practicing lifting the left leg and the right arm off at the same time and then switching. Okay, walk back, walk forward. Okay, and you're just practicing getting that motion. Okay, nice and slow, trying to keep the bum up and trying to do the left, right motion. Walking forward and back and just being aware what's going back, how that feels, and going forward, how that feels. Then we're going to do some spins. So crab spins, we're going to take that right leg, kick it underneath the left leg, and then you're in beast, but then you flip all the way around, and then your left leg kicks up, and then you're going all the way around, right leg kicks up, all the way around, okay, and then you end up breakdancing, okay? Reaching up, spiral around, and switching, okay? So go all the way around and just keep switching which leg goes scooping under and up and over. We're going to do the down dog scorpion on the right side, down dog scorpion on the left side, snowboard hops after that, repeating that. So 40 seconds, doing those crab walks, go. Okay, so just, if you need to lift your leg or your arm up, just so that you're aware, like out to the sides, kind of exaggerate the motion, then go ahead and do that. But eventually you're just kind of doing some small motions and maybe walking a little bit faster and being aware of, again, just moving opposite hand, opposite leg, moving back, moving forward. Rolling those shoulders back, trying to keep the chest lifted and core engaged. Okay, spin around. The left leg's gonna go over, around. Right leg's gonna go under, around. So kick it up, under. So think of reaching underneath that heel and threading it under so that it just kind of spins your hips all the way around. And then your shoulders will follow, okay? So your legs go first, and then your shoulders follow after. And don't worry if you come off the mat, that's kind of the purpose too. Just kind of changing up the different planes that we're in, okay? And then the scorpions are next. Down dog scorpions, 5, 3, 2, and so knee comes up to the elbow, kick out, and then in. Kick out, and then in. This one definitely is a challenging move when you're kicking out from that elbow position, like I'm just gonna show you, kicking out to the side, and then winging back. Other side, winging all the way around, trying to take up space. Elbow to knee, sweep all the way back and around. Tuck in knee, touch at the elbow, back around. And again, the slower the better, the harder. 2, 1, okay. 10 seconds snowboard hops. Get that cardio way up there again. Right leg forward, right hand down, and go. Again, just jumping from side to side, or you're doing these fast switch steps, okay, which is just as good. Go for it again, another 20 rounds. You could do the fast switch steps for this 20. Woo. 2. All right, that's it. Wow, that's light burner. All right, one more round to go. And again, we're going to repeat those side steps and the banana, but saved kind of the trickiest for the last. If you have a block, you can grab it. Otherwise, I'll just show you some modifications for the lunge kick through. If you ever wanted to practice being a ninja, this is kind of what it feels like. Okay, so actually I'll just leave the block off for now. I'll show you what it looks like. You're going to be in the beast position, so or what they call loaded beast. So basically your down dog squat. You're going to step your right leg forward, then your right hand's going to come off the floor, and then your left leg is going to kick under. It's going to kick under, and then back into the lunge, then back into loaded beast. Okay? So you basically step through. Now, to make that easier, you can bring your left hand on a block, and your right hand is just rested on the floor. So you start in the beast position, so you load back, step your right foot forward, then your left leg has some space to go underneath, and you can kick forward and then back. I'm just going to show you from a different angle. So back here, and then, so you're back here in beast, step the right foot, left leg kicks under, and then back to the start position. If you don't have the block and you cannot do the lunge kick through, you will just be doing the lunge step. So back to beast, step your right foot forward, and then bring your left knee to the floor, and then step it back. Okay, left knee to the floor as close as you can, and just try to hover it there, or just land it to the floor, and then place the weight into your left hand so that you can kick back into lunge, and then back into beast. All right, good luck. This is a little bit more intense just because of the range of motion that we're working with, but it's good to practice getting with the block, or just practice doing the lunge step instead of the kick through. So 40 seconds starting in the loaded beast, right leg only, then we'll move to the left. Go for it. Let's come back, right leg steps, left leg kicks under, step back to lunge, step back to beast. Right leg steps, left leg kicks under, step back with the left, step back with the right. Right foot, left foot. Right foot to lunge, left foot to beast. Okay, and I'll just demo the modified. So you're just stepping with your right foot from beast, left knee to floor, left foot steps back, right to beast. Right foot steps, left knee to floor, step it back again, step it back to beast. Switch sides right away. So your left foot's gonna step. So basically it's replacing your left hand, and then your right leg kicks under, and then you're back into beast. Right leg kicks under, beast. Then you can end up hopping. Try to kick the leg straight forward. And then again, you can just step back. So step your left foot, right knee to the floor, and then step back. All right, so that's that. Side steps are next. And then we're almost done here. Okay, so step and sweep and up. Step and sweep and up. Just come down the middle, sweep and up. Sometimes I get confused with that. Down the middle, push out, push up. Down the middle, down and push up. Step and sweep. Big wide step. Okay, make big wide scoop. So scoop up, step wide scoop, up, open, scoop the water, open, scoop the water. Okay, and then you can speed it up. Got the hang of it. Bananas next. All right. Okay, come down on your mat. Finish off with just the static hold and hollow hold. Then go. Gonna bring that heart rate. So squeezing everything in tight, legs straight, or squeezing anyways. Gonna pull the rib cage down, everything pulling down. Okay, rock side to side. Alright, that's it. Give yourself a hug, so squeeze those knees in. Okay, deep breath in. Just stay on the ground there for a moment. Okay, begin rocking your knees, or circling your knees. Pull them in, move them away. And then we will begin a figure four rocking motion again. Just cross right ankle over left, and then reach forward. Switch, reach, rock back, switch, cross your ankles, reach. One knee is up, one knee is down. One knee is pointed up, one knee is pulling down. Okay, keep rocking. If you can't rock up, you can use your hands to help you kind of rock. Okay, I'm just demoing. Use your hands to help you slowly do it. forward, left ankle over your right ankle. So the left knee is pointed up and your right knee is down. Okay, plant your right hand to the floor and then reach out to the side. Just hold it there for that stretch. And then go over and do a twist. Right arm over that, on top of that left knee. And then releasing, reach forward, keep reaching. Left knee stays up, release that right foot, right leg, and reach it forward, and then keep reaching. Keep reaching, okay, and then coming out, then plant that left hand back behind you, and then we're going to reach up and into a variation of joy pose or wild thing pose. So basically your right leg is straight and your left knee is bent. You're trying to push into your, squeeze your glutes so you're popping your hips up, and your right arm is going to reach over to the left. Now cross that right arm, bring it right across your chest, and then just let it hang there. But try to reach a little bit with it as well. So kind of reaching with your fingers so you're stretching your back. You feel your back muscles stretching there. And then releasing out, down, and then switch sides here. You're going to come back, cross your right ankle over your left knee. So right knee is pointed up, left knee is down to the floor. We'll start by reaching first. Pulling that right knee in to yourself. Okay, and then go to the left and just reaching out to the side. And you're just trying to hold your legs steady here, just getting this upper body stretch and the shoulder stretch. Twist over to the right side now, so plant your right hand back behind you, left elbow on the outer right knee. And lift the posture up tall. Again, try to keep your legs stable and steady. And then let that twist go. Undo your left leg here and straighten it out. Keep your right knee pointed up and then reach forward. Pull that right knee in and just try to keep it pulled in, navel pulling in. All right, releasing, and then your right hand's going to plant back behind you. Your left arm is going to kind of leverage up with the rest of your body here, and then you're pressing into your right hip, right foot, and squeezing your glutes and letting that left arm reach first. So reach to the back of the mat. Pull in that right shoulder, and then let that arm cross across your chest. So that's basically more in line with your right shoulder. Looking down, just holding, squeezing glutes, and then letting it all release down. Rocking, rolling like a ball, grab onto the backs of the knees, rock back and forth. 2 more times. Cross your ankles into a cross-legged position and reach forward and down. Okay, so just facing, I'm just going to spin around here. So bowing forward, cross-legged Sukhasana. Go over to the right knee, bowing to the right knee. Go over to the left, bowing to the left knee. Come back to center and then rise up. Hands back behind you and lift your hips. Okay, release your hips down to the floor. Come back onto your back again. So just down onto your back, cross your right ankle over your left knee. and doing a figure 4 bridge. Elbows down into the floor, lift your hips. Open up that knee out to the side, right foot flexed, holding. Squeezing the glutes here. And release down, switch sides. Left ankle on your right knee. Go ahead, lift in, so you're kind of rolling right up onto your shoulder blades here. Press down into your right foot. Try to lift and activate the glutes here. One more breath. And release down. Bring both knees into your chest. Hold on to just your right knee. Keep your head up if possible, if you have neck issue. So left leg, again, just kind of floating off the floor. I don't know if you can see that, but floating the left leg and squeezing the right knee. And then switch. Reaching up through your right leg and just kind of floating above the floor, holding. Switch again. And switch. All right, head onto the floor, feet onto the floor, knees bent, and into regular bridge. Lift the hips. Squeezing the glutes here, press into the feet. Okay, we're going to do 2 more bridges, or 1 more bridge and an upward facing bow, which is also part of the Primal movement series as well. Is all about getting into that upward bow and practicing it and getting really good at it. It's amazing for your spine and just getting some hip extension as well. But you do need to build up to it, and if you do have any kind of back or hip injury, then bridge is going to be the pose for you instead of that upward facing bow. So go ahead and release from the bridge. The next bridge we are going to do is the modified bridge. So using a tool. So either you are gripping your ankles, so you're walking your ankles in really close, and you're gripping your ankles or just holding onto your ankles, squeezing them and squeezing your glutes and reaching forward. So if that does not feel good for your own body, then use the edges of your mat. So you can walk your feet on a little bit more and then lift your hips up, and then you're just pulling on your mat. So you're kind of pulling up towards yourself as you're reaching your knees forward. Okay, so whatever one you're going to choose, or you can reach your arms alongside your ears, but try to use a gripping sort of tool, or you're using a strap at home if you have that, and the strap is just going around your ankles, and you're holding onto that strap and just kind of driving the arms down. Let's hold for another 2 breaths here, and then release. Okay, resist the urge to pull the knees in towards the chest just yet. The next bridge is going to be the upward facing bow, or do reach your arms alongside your ears and open up that way, or open your arms out to a T position, or maybe you just take camel pose. So camel pose is kind of your challenge pose. That'll get your thoracic spine kind of open and ready for that. Or you're coming up against the wall, and you can kind of do these reach backs where you're pressing into the wall and you're just going back and forth and just kind of opening and doing a little bit of twisting back and forth. Okay, if you are going to the upward facing bow, then you are feet onto the floor just like bridge. You're popping your hips up just like bridge. Your hands go onto the floor, fingertips pointed towards your toes, and you press up into the bow position and drop your head back. Okay, so holding for just another 5 breaths wherever you're at. And if you're in the upward facing bow, you're working into maybe at your home practice holding it for up to 30 seconds at a time. Take another deep breath in and then releasing down. So head comes down and then you're completely unwinding. So for wherever you're at, just come onto your spine from now and do some windshield wipers back and forth. And we'll end off in some twists to help release the spine even more. Recline twists. All right, so give yourself a hug. Bring the knees in. Release the knees so that they're above the hips. Arms out to a T and drop the knees over to the left. So knees stacked together, but if you would like to, then you're straightening the bottom leg out from underneath. Maybe placing your left hand on top of your right leg. Reaching your right arm out to the side. And like I've said in other classes here, explore around in your right shoulder. Here's a good time to do it. Changing the angle of your arm. If you just feel kind of lazy tonight or just completely fine with being still, that is fine as well. Again, just kind of choosing what you need to do because it is ultimately your own body, your own practice. So wherever you're at, you just want to focus on your breath and bringing your heart rate down. I think that's the most important thing at this point as we wind everything down. Looking over your right shoulder, just take another deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then we're slowly unwinding so you're bringing the knees back to center. Bring your head into the knees and squeeze. And then release your head onto the floor. Float those knees above your hips, arms out to a T, and drop your knees to the right. And from there, modifying by straightening the bottom leg out from underneath, or twisting, or any other twisted variation you like to take. Perhaps resting or closing the eyes at this point. Bring some sound into your breath. So very slowly coming out of that position. Bring it back to center. Give yourself a hug. Knees bent and feet onto the floor. Arms out to a T position and drop the knees left and right. Back to windshield wipers here. Take those deep breaths in and deep breaths out. All right, and then very slowly moving into Shavasana. Straightening one leg at a time and getting comfortable on your mat and checking out where you're at in your own space to just seeing if you can minimize the distraction that you think you may be feeling in a few moments. So whether it be the coolness of the floor or temperature of the air, cover up. If you need to, or use a bolster if you feel like you can't quite lay straight, you can always bend your knees or come to a seated position. So just finding any kind of comfortable seat that's going to be good for you so that you can just be still and not have to think about your body for the next few moments. Because what we want to do is just leave the body where it's at so it can rest and relax and sink deep into the floor. And we want to leave it behind so that we can think about our breath from now on. So starting by taking that deep breath in through the nose and fill up the lungs, fill up the belly. Taking as much air as you can, and then exhale everything out completely, maybe through the mouth, maybe through the nose. Whatever way you do it, try to exhale out all and every last bit of air so that you almost feel like your low back sunk 20% deeper at least into the mat, and then begin taking the next breaths in and out. So take just 2 or 3 of those active, the deep breaths in and out, and then after that, then just continue on a normal breath pattern, inhales and exhales in and out through the nose. Focusing on letting those exhales linger a little bit longer, a few or a couple seconds, at least a little bit longer than those inhales. And along with those exhales, try to relax something in your body along with them. So exhaling and relaxing your heels. Inhaling, creating space. Exhaling, relaxing your calves. Just kind of scanning through the body and see if you can relax body part by body part, sinking through the mat. Shoulders, hips, your whole head, letting the arm bones feel heavy and relaxed, hands relaxed. Again, then bringing that attention back to your breath. Slowly bringing some awareness back to your breath and body. Feel free to stay where you're at, continue on your Shavasana. I'm going to bring you out into the moving body and awake body. Deep breaths in through the nose, expanding belly once again, expanding the lungs. And getting those wrists moving or ankles moving and adding on motion bit by bit. Rocking the knees from side to side. Windshield wipers again. Yawning. From there, rolling or rocking over onto your right. And I'm making your way up to seated from there. And again, continue on your practice here if you'd like to. Do some more stretches, neck stretches, hip stretches, whatever you feel. Otherwise, namaste, and thanks for joining me tonight. Hope you guys liked the Primal movement sprinkled in there. Yeah, it's kind of fun. There's lots of different moves and there's lots of different flows that come out just a little bit away from the vein of yoga, which kind of refreshing. You say ouch. But yeah, it does take a lot of work, but it's just like yoga, right? You just practice with it and have fun with it, and it's a lot about listening to your own body, just like any yoga practice is. So yeah, let me know what you think about tonight's class and share it if you like it. I am on YouTube. Melissa Shippey is my channel, and this is Live Elements Yoga. Thanks for joining me. Bye.